JDG, they don't have a single button where they can press like a stun on new Kha'Zix LeBlanc and then connect with all their CC from there. I'm a bit worried for JDG. He's continuing too. He's gonna E over. Smite fight. Yep.
He's gonna get it. Yeah. No smite on Shun. Means that he's able to pick this one up. A couple of extra minions this time, remembering that the small probes are important. Shun though, flashing over the wall. Now gonna have Junja in a bit of trouble. Junja flashes the opposite way, and now it's Knight with priority, and Knight hunting for his first kill. Junja probably gonna have to take this out the hard way. Looking for a potential execute. Gonna have to get under this tier 3, trying to buy as many seconds as possible, and it should be, no, it's first blood. Picked up here for Shun, and Knight gets some XP as well.
Why continue? Honkyou is actually making his way up to the Krugs. He burns the
rush forward. Oh, he's trying to find him in the bush. Dashes in. Oh, cancels the recall, lands a charm. Will it be enough damage? Not just yet. But Shun's at 100 HP, gonna try to cancel the back, or channel the back, I should say, before Xiaoshu arrives. Needlework not going to connect. Almost the third one. Not enough to take Shun down. As he's in a very bad spot. Should most likely go down. Honkyou taking tower aggro though, and Bin's hit Mega, and Shun will not go. He's still alive, finally. Xiaoshu goes forward with the snip snip, but he makes it a 1-for-1, and it should be more after that, with Knight finally being able to arrive to the play. It's 3-1 now on the scoreboard for Bilibili Gaming, and they can make it a little bit more. Bin jumping over the wall, taking Xiaoshu down. On the bottom lane though, it's JDG having the upper hand in the bot lane. Death Sentence lands onto Viper, and with red and white guns, Gala is nearly able to get a second. The series has gone. Although we do like the way the composition functions a little bit more than we did in Game 3.
Yeah, I don't think that we're in a position where we get disastrously outscaled here as BLG. As Honkyou is going to spot Shun.
Oh, Shun. He's going to flash in. Did not realize that was enough damage, but hey, that's why Shun's the pro. Play to his name.
At Just Gnar Things does the combo where he is able to throw his ult and take away most of your health and walk out without a tower shot, which is very fun. BLG gets 3 grubs to their name off the back half of this too. Is Shun again going to continue to keep power farming, I should say, on this Kha'Zix, where Fire Lantern could be a big game changer.
That sentence goes wide. Shun looking for that potential dive, but JDG have done a good job responding to any of the pressure that their opposition has brought towards them. As I say that though, Bin goes forward, lands the Mega Gnar to send Xiaoshu back, and On is immediately there with the Solar Flare. And Shun from downtown will snipe him down with the Vorpal Spikes to make it 6-2 BLG.
Something object permanence in tow for Gala, but he's got a reset for it, and that should be enough time for Shun to rip through this dragon with his Evolve Claws.
So count even at 1. BLG looking good here in Game 4.
Oh, I'm blanking. I'm panicking in front of the LPL here. Gotta focus on the games
get the
anyway.
Sentiment at the very least. As looks like Bin now he's gonna get targeted by a gank from Junja, but does a lot of damage back onto Xiaoshu and has the decent movement speed from the Hyperprocs. Flashes away from that final Q, and in comes Shun to turn the tides. That's 1 on to Xiaoshu, a second onto Junja, sure to follow. Knight's the one to secure it, and BLG are running the table in Game 4.
On the Q entering the fight with some of the clicks that he had, but that I would constitute that as a rather poor effort from JDG, which is too bad because they've had a lot of good efforts throughout this series. That one just that wasn't one of them, and this game seems to be spiraling a little bit.
They were very eager to try to force something onto Bin. You know, the typical signs, hey, he's mini Gnar, let's go for something. But he's still pretty strong as mini Gnar, and this is Bin's Gnar that we're talking about as well. Not to mention Shun coming in, getting a kill, number 4 on the game. Nice hook, though, is going to connect onto Knight. Vampire gets a big shutdown over to Honkyou, and that's much-needed gold into JD's pockets.
If a death sentence is connecting out of the LeBlanc throughout the game, I'm going to usually take inventory and say that the LeBlanc made a bit of an oopsie. Bit of an oopsie there from Knight, as
Fair enough.
Vampire, again, continues to prove why I think his Thresh should be feared in the league. Thresh is a champ where you can really demonstrate player skill. Vampire doing a good job of that. I'm talking through that one. He was dead.
As Gala tasted Shun's fear right there. Or maybe tasted his own fear as Shun smited him down.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
More like
I see him at first stand.
I mean, I was kind of worried when I saw the Kazakhs locked in that we might see a Gwen jungle. I had a little bit of PTSD from that game, but that's all right.
Anyway.
We'll be seeing Shelly at first stand. Shun's going to focus on that. Yeah, a lot of Shelly.
Maybe too much, depending on your attitude towards the Rift Herald. Will get picked up here by Shun.
Test this dragon, and this is not a dragon that I'd sign up to die on a hill for. So maybe looking at Bin was the wise choice. That said, Bin going to play his way out of it. A-okay. So Bin bases, navigates the gank. A little bit more gold's going over the Gwen, but it is the Evolved Claws ripping through that dragon for BLG and Shun as they pick up their second dragon of the game.
Far behind in terms of gold, and so that's why maybe we're even feeling worse. Junja gonna get slowed down here by the solar flare, locked down by a lot of abilities thrown at him by On. Now he'll be forced to proc his ult and his flash to get away.
Vampire. Ooh, guess wrong.
Yeah, Knight's gonna go forward as well with the Mimic, take him down again.
Yep.
Knights LeBlanc reigning supreme here in this game 4 as BLG really put in their pedal to the metal.
I mean, Junja doesn't have access to his camps anymore as... Oh, that's a bold play.
Blast Cone, no ulti this time, and that means that Junja's going to go down. So a great fight, I guess. Honkyu's looking for some sort of trade, but not going to happen. BLG, I think we can definitively say this, very ahead in this one.
I'd say a 9k gold lead is better than a 7k gold lead, and we're not stopping there. As Geraldo Rift Hera going to save her charge for the inhibitor turret.
Challenger has approached. So far, that Challenger has gotten the best of him, but not in the most important of games, that being here in the postseason. So Knight looking to take BLG all the way to 5 here, has been alongside a downtown snipe from Viper, is able to get a kill on a Vampire, and now On is looking for more on to Junja. Satchel sends Junja back. And that will be 2-0 once again.
You know, I feel like JDG deserves a wee bit of grief for this draft, Grapes. I was not a fan of the H-Rocks coming in later on. Hasn't looked great. I think it's been a bit of... Junja fell behind early. A couple oopsies. That didn't help. But also, was really looking for hard CC. Been a lack of that.
Battle here between our two mid laners.
The MVP of the series throughout the first 3 games. I don't want to say I expected the matchup to go like this, to be this Shun favored, but I was expecting the jungle matchup to be a little bit BLG favored in this series. So yeah, it's been a bit of a roughie this game for Junja.
Yeah, guess what? No, you can't outsmite your opponent if you're never set up to even get into position to steal away. So
I don't want to see that. I would like a game 5 tonight, Grapes. This series has been fun.
Oh, Knight
by Gala
goes in, and Gala is just deleted. There's a double kill again for Shun, who's having his way with his old team, going for Vampire next. A triple kill for the Bug. Baron might not even be needed, as it's a 5v2 now for BLG. They're going to run right down the mid lane. They're going to break open this inhibitor, and they could even look for more.
Yeah, let's get us out of here. Let's get into this game 5, Grapes. It's been a fun series so far tonight. BLG not going to throw this lead. Really good game from Shun, punishing Junjia. Playing too fast, too early, as BLG take a very dominant game 4 victory.
There is no wave right now. They're going to have to wait for this next one to be escorted in. 10 seconds on Junja, but it should not matter. BLG, with the most dominant win that we've seen all day against JD Gaming, are going to send us to game number 5. Because between these two teams, there was no other way for it to go down. Respawns have come through, but the Nexus is gone. BLG win, and we are headed to that decider.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.